Have you ever wondered what drives a Hollywood legend to risk it all for love? A compelling tale of romance, scandal, and drama, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward's love life is not your typical Hollywood fairy tale. A legendary personality in Hollywood history, Paul Newman mesmerized spectators not only with his extraordinary acting skills, but also with his intense and controversial romance with renowned actress Joanne Woodward. Their 50-year romantic love life is frequently regarded as one of Hollywood's finest love stories. We will learn about the struggles and victories that shaped their bond as we put their story together. So, let's uncover the real story behind Paul Newman's sincere confession in this video. Paul Newman's personal life was as interesting as his on-screen image. Distant from the flawless Hollywood facade, there was a world of emotions and depth behind those recognizable blue eyes of Paul Newman. His inspiration and co-star Joanne Woodward ended up being the unplanned focal point of Newman's love affair that transcended social conventions as well as Hollywood's curious gaze. Their relationship was characterized by dramatic emotional lows and highs, intimate difficulties, as well as public attention. Despite their lavish lifestyle, both of them faced several obstacles along the way that put their dedication to the test. However, despite everything, their love remained strong and developed into a relationship that withstood the challenges of controversy as well as stardom. Let's go back to the time when Paul and Joanne first met. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward unexpectedly crossed paths in 1953, while both were understudies in the Broadway production of Picnic. Although their initial encounter was unremarkable, fate had more in store for them. Months after their first meeting, they found themselves sharing the stage as understudies in a Broadway production called Picnic. This time, their connection was undeniable. One significant barrier to the two pursuing their mutual desire at the time was that Newman had already tied the knot with Jackie Witt, as well as had a young boy. Immediately after Picnic debuted on Broadway in February 1953, he became the father of a daughter, and the next year, a second girl was born. Woodward and Newman made an effort to maintain a professional connection. He even introduced her to a friend playwright James Costigan, calling her a wonderful girl. However, it was impossible for the youthful, stunning actors to stay apart for very long, especially since their growing careers put them in similar social and professional circles. Newman confessed his love for Woodward to his wife Jackie shortly after the release of his first blockbuster movie, Somebody Up There Likes Me, 1956. Despite her refusal to break off the marriage, he quickly left their Long Island house. It was until they were filming The Long Hot Summer in 1957 that they gave in to their desires and started pursuing a full-blown romantic relationship. By the time they were cast as co-stars in The Long Hot Summer, 1958, Newman and Woodward had given up trying to hide their love affair from the team, the actors, or all the other bystanders. They had a strong relationship in the movie that quickly transferred into the actual life. Jackie eventually consented to a divorce, which made it possible for the co-stars to get married in January 1958 in Las Vegas. But what's heartbreaking was, he always had Witta by his side. Still, he cheated on her and left her and their 3 children. Soon after his divorce was finalized, Paul Newman wedded Joanne Woodward at a humble, intimate event in Las Vegas in 1958. A collaboration that would endure the test of time as well as the demands of Hollywood was established with this relationship. Although Newman was now very happy, he still felt extremely guilty for leaving his first wife and thought he would keep feeling this way forever. Jackie was left to take care of their 3 kids, all under 5 years old. While talking about being cheated by Paul Newman, Jackie shared that. She was really upset. She felt let down, and she still feels that way. Despite Paul's intense love for Joanna and his many statements that she was his true love, how can you expect a man who once cheated on his wife to never do it again? According to Sean Levy's Paul Newman, A Life. Newman started an illicit relationship with journalist Nancy Bacon around this time. Although Paul was considered a decidedly family-friendly figure in the entertainment industry, It has long since been rumored that the star engaged in a notable extramarital affair with actress Nancy Bacon only on his early marriage to Joanne. After she conducted an interview with him in 1968, Newman and Bacon quickly had an affair that lasted more than a year. Once Bacon grew sick of Newman's excessive drinking habit, their romance came to an end and Newman returned back to his wife. By traveling to England, where they had their honeymoon, for some desperately needed private time, the pair was able to avoid what may have been an irreversible breakup in their relationship. Part of the reason their relationship lasted was because each of them found an unrelated passion that, even if not completely acknowledged by the other, at least had support from each other. Following his appearance as a driver in the 1969 winning, Newman's fascination about motor racing turned into a full-fledged enthusiasm. Whereas Woodward's admiration for ballet as a source of artistic expression and physical exercise led her to support multiple performance companies. Newman and Woodward moved to a farmhouse in Westport, Connecticut, consciously choosing to distance themselves from the Hollywood limelight. They established a family life here that was very different from the glamour and sparkle of the entertainment world. They focused on both their professional and private lives while raising their 3 girls and leading a rather quiet life. Married for 50 years, Hollywood legends Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward served as a model for celebrity marriage. Hollywood weddings of the 1960s were frequently predicted to fail, particularly when they involved 2 well-known celebrities. However, Paul Newman and Joanne had been wedded for nearly 50 years. When asked about the secret of their married life, the couple said, "Joanne, if you can make somebody laugh, then that's where..." Paul, "I keep her laughing." Joanne, "And he sure does keep me laughing." Throughout the years, Woodward and Newman's love seemed to grow stronger. Newman and Woodward's lasting romance was not devoid its difficulties, but they overcame them together. They frequently worked together on different projects and had a strong bond that went beyond their love relationship. At one point, Newman referred to their relation as a team, stressing the value of respect for one another and their shared goals. Their initiatives for charity were another example of their connection. In an effort to give back to the community, they co-founded the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, a summer camp for kids with life-threatening diseases. With Woodward's continuous support, Newman also founded Newman's Own, a food firm that donates its income to charitable causes. In the beginning of the 2000s, Newman's condition started to deteriorate, and he died in 2008. Throughout his sickness, Woodward stayed by his side, reflecting the commitment as well as affection that had characterized their relationship. Newman once said quite honestly that Woodward was his true love. Those who knew them totally agreed with this confession, which highlighted how deeply they were in love with each other. Melissa Newman, while talking about the passionate love her father had for her mother, mentioned the love letters Paul wrote to Joanna. She said, "I reached into a bag in the attic and I found the first 10 letters that my father wrote to my mother. I mean, wow, saucy love letters. I couldn't put them entirely, but I put big chunks of quotes in there because any man could take a lesson. Anyone could take lessons on how to craft a love letter. They were so sweet." The passionate and dramatic romance between Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward is a unique and stunning depiction of a Hollywood romance that survived the test of time. People throughout the world are still inspired and moved by their relationship, which was based on the respect for one another, comparable values, and constant support. Their love made a lasting impression on the entertainment industry as well as many other lives. As we contemplate their journey, we become conscious of the huge influence that love and understanding can have. The confession made by Paul Newman that Joanne was his true love says a lot about their strong relationship and steadfast devotion. Many people are still moved by their story. Have you ever found a love so profound that it changed your life forever? How do you take care of the bonds that are most important to you? Feel free to share with us in the comments below.